terminal. Let's bring in the Heritage Foundation Senior Policy Analyst Olivia Enos. Olivia, what next in Hong Kong? Because the Wall Street Journal editorial page, not the news reporting side, but the opinion side, said that yesterday was a propaganda victory for Beijing as it tries to turn the public against what's been overwhelmingly peaceful protests.
And that's the important element that we have to emphasize, that the protests have been overwhelmingly peaceful. Now, unfortunately, last night, there was an abrogation from that norm with the protesters inside of the airport as they were being essentially, ushered out or encouraged to not enter the terminal. And I think that the U.S. should be really clear and vocal in its support for those who are acting in a peaceful manner. But more importantly, the U.S. should be very clear in its condemnation of any hints that China might be considering some sort of intervention. And I think that there need to be real threats put on the table, threats including that any individual in China who makes the call that there should be an intervention should be considered for global Magnitsky sanctions, which is a Treasury authority that enables them to target individuals on human rights and corruption grounds. This is a serious concern, and hopefully China does not intervene, and hopefully if it does, it's not in a violent way.
Olivia, this is Kristen Soltis Anderson of the Washington Examiner. My question is about sort of the PR side of this. Yesterday you could see some images of some folks at the airport holding up signs saying things like, "Sorry for the inconvenience, we're fighting for our country." How do you think that the images that come from yesterday will affect the way sort of the world looks in on what's going on in Hong Kong right now?
I think that Hong Kong protesters have to carefully manage their image. They want this to be one that is clear that Hong Kongers are certainly seeking reform. They're looking for a change in their political system that helps them to better communicate to Hong Kong authorities. And I think, something to watch in the near term is whether or not Hong Kong authorities are in fact responsive to the demands of those protesters. And I think right now what we're seeing is that the ability to communicate between protesters and government seems to be just completely malfunctioning. And so we would be looking for some improvements in that regard.
Olivia, thank you for being here this morning. I'm sure we'll have much more to discuss in the weeks to come. Let's hope for a peaceful resolution.
Thank you.
Olivia Enos.